Hey man, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic. So, how's your day so far?
Good, can't complain. It's 9:30 over here in Los Angeles, California, so it's nice getting a little chilly, which is great. Um, you know,
Fantastic.
I'm glad that it's no longer summer.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. So, Mario, your new EP, Passageways, is to be out this Friday. So, would you like to tell me a bit on the songwriting and production behind this new EP?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, as you mentioned, yeah, Passageways will be out this Friday. The I initially at first the idea was we were gonna do standalone singles with the songs, but then during the writing process, we just kept writing more and thematically what the EP is about, lyrically, and the whole, band state of mind and, stuff that was occurring around the band at the time. It just made sense to encapsulate this into an EP where it's all everything is there and kind of like, you know, releases as a whole as opposed to section it off because it's this were all written in a certain state of mind.
Fantastic, fantastic. And does Passageways has some kind of a concept or a theme behind it?
Um, Without getting into too much like, in-depth details about it, but Passageways, the EP deals with a lot of grief and loss, um, in more of like the idea of also acceptance and moving forward from it, and the idea of passageways, it could either represent two ghosts that are there that may or may not represent two people, but also can represent a which way you will allow yourself to go, and I guess which goes will take you to those passageways in the sense that, with loss, you can either stay in that hole and obviously not move forward, not progress, but at the same time you could progress. And the reality of that is that while you move forward and obviously, life goes on and continues, but you just learn to live with that. Not even some, I guess you can call it maybe coping, but just more learn to live with what happened and to what the reality is.
And had the pleasure to listen to all the five songs of the EP and brilliant work from you guys. The songs are amazing, great songwriting. The musicianship is fantastic, totally a power driven albums from the start to the end. So I want to thank you guys so much for putting up this awesome EP this Friday. And as a band, as a creator, how do you guys feel about the outcome?
Um, I love the outcome. I'm very happy with it. I feel we are this EP, I think, is the best representation of Thrown to Exile and the best, uh, I feel about the band in the sense that musically, this is kind of where I've always, at least me personally speaking for myself, I've always wanted the band to be in this direction musically. And, not every band gets it right on the first try. And what I mean by that, like, I'm aware of like, there was changes on the first album, Safe Inside. There was different, you know, stuff on, Illusion of Control, the second album, which I feel that was like the more indicative of where it was going to go. And then we did release a couple standalone singles, in between for after Safe Inside now leading in the passageways. But yeah, it's obvious, it's nice to see the progression where it is. And like I mentioned, not every band can hone in, I guess, where you can call it their sound right
Yeah.
out of the get-go. Some bands it takes longer, some bands are just brilliant songwriters that get it right and know what they're doing right out of the get-go.
And a couple of weeks back, you come up with your video for Desolation. So, would you like to tell me about this song in particular and making of this video?
I mean, the making of that video, that was a long effing day. We drove out, I want to say maybe it was like about 2.5 hours outside of Los Angeles, maybe close to 3, like out in like in the middle of nowhere. We found this rental spot. Our singer Evan came up with the treatment, majority of the treatment where, the idea is to feel lost and just kind of always having death glooming and near you and kind of coming to terms when facing death. And, and where the character is facing death is more of just realizing everything that he's lost and what's, guess you could say what's left and what's no longer left,
Mm.
and just coming to terms with that character in that. Um, yeah, no, I mean that was a long day, big production. I mean, we drove all the way out there. We rented a full on like rain machine, as I'm sure you saw like in the second half of the video where the rain scene happens. Um, Snow machines, like this was definitely the most ambitious Throne Exile video we've done as a band. At least within our band, because usually for the most part, like we've always just kind of done performance videos. So this is the first time we actually did like a full storyline. We hired, Missy from MM Fabrications who did Corey Taylor's new mask, who's done stuff for Cradle of Filth, like
Mm.
and all these amazing bands, so we're stoked that she came along for that one. And then, we have Vicente Cordero, who's done, videos for Cradle of Filth, um, Devil Driver, and a couple other like, really big, notable, metal bands. So for him to be doing our stuff, it kind of just really helped hone in our vision of what this was going to be for the video.
Fantastic. And any plans to come up with more videos from this EP?
Actually, there will be one released this Thursday for the final song on the EP, Killing the Only One.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And any plans on Friday for the release?
Yeah, I mean, we're releasing the video this Thursday, so that way it has a little bit of, leeway time and a bit of I guess somewhat of a launching pad for this video to come out and do its thing, and then Friday the EP comes out. In terms of celebration, I'm not sure if we're gonna be rehearsing. That's I guess we'll call that our celebration because we are doing a free EP release show
Mm.
at 1720 in Los Angeles, California, in celebration of it. We're gonna be playing the whole EP in its entirety and a couple other songs.
Amazing. Amazing. And any plans on touring for the end of the year?
Right now we have in the calendar for the remainder of the year we have four more shows. So we have the Passageways EP release show, and then on December 3rd, uh, funny enough, we will be supporting Arch Enemy in Tijuana, Mexico.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And then after that, we will be doing we will be supporting God Forbid on their Gone Forever anniversary shows on December 12th and 13th. So that'll be Sacramento and Los Angeles, California.
So, and Thrown into Exile goes way back to 2012 when it all started. And now you have two EPs and two full-length albums on the history. And how do you guys feel about the road that you have traveled so far?
Man, I've been there since day one with this, and with all the numerous lineup changes. Um, I mean, obviously, like it's awesome, to go back and look at, where things were at the beginning, where it is now. Like obviously, what every band you've had, moments of success, and then you have a couple steps back, and then you have a couple more steps forward, and you have two more steps back, obviously just like the push and pull of life and just how, bands work and, the reality in the world that we live in today where life happens and there's just so much stuff going on that, sometimes just, some people are can't exactly do a band, for that long. And I get that. That's not, dismissing or discrediting anyone that's been in the past, here before. Like, unfortunately, if it didn't work out, it didn't work out, it it happens. But, you know, present day now, I'm extremely happy where things are going. I'm extremely happy with the musical direction, and I'm also very happy that we have Evan Silence, the original singer of Throne in Exile, back in the band.
And will you guys be getting back into the studio for another full-length album anytime sooner?
I the plan is to get back into the studio. Actually, I think we're going back in the studio maybe before the end of the year
Mm.
and start revisiting stuff and ideas, and I think we'll probably start like probably working on more stuff already like first quarter next year, and then we'll plan some more stuff out to release.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I know you guys have toured with some of the big names of the metal industry.
Mhm.
So, what has been some of the most awesome moments for you so far?
Um, I'll put a couple out there. I think for me, what probably my biggest one was playing Ozfest 2017, and that's also because like nostalgia, but also sentimental value because I grew up as a kid going to that festival, and like for me, like seeing Ozfest is like that was the like it does not get any bigger than this when you're like kid like in the, North America, because that was the tour at the time when I was growing up, you know. And then when we got the offer to play in 2017, like, yeah, I will go on record saying that was like one of the best days of my life. Because I was able to accomplish such a lifelong dream to play that. Um, and then after that, what made the day even more special that I actually got to meet Ozzy Osbourne later that night.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was like, holy shit.
And, uh,
Because here's the thing, like, like you see some of these guys and they in Los Angeles are around, but like when you're like in front of someone like that, that's a fucking icon. That is a like that is next level. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And he couldn't have been, more gracious and kind. Like yeah, like the few like minutes that I had with him was like super sick because that was like just full circle. Because like one of the reasons I ever even picked up a guitar was because of Zach Wild, and I was like one of my favorite guitar players of all time. So to play in Ozfest, meet Ozzy, then see Zach and Ozzy on stage together, I was like, dude, this is sick. Um, I think another mo I'll make it quick. I'll give you three more moments like that. I would probably be we got to do a couple tour dates with At the Gates in 2012, and that was like another, important record in my at least in my, in my childhood and just in general for, metal. As listening to that stuff was, getting to open for them, that was a big deal for me. Um, we got to uh we opened for Arch Enemy as direct support on the off date in 2019, and my first concert ever actually was Slayer, Hatebreed, and Arch Enemy in 2003. So it was cool to like, be on the bill with something, with a band that means that much to you. Um, and then what else? I think the other one would be getting to open for the Max and Igor Cavalera at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles. The Wiltern Theater is it's a historical venue. It's like about a 2,350 capacity room, and like some of my fondest, childhood memory going to shows were at that venue. So to get to be on that stage and, accomplish that and then be on a bit on the package with like, Max Single Cavalera, like it was like it's just another full circle moment.
Thanks so much, Mario, for sharing these great moments with me today. And finally, any message that you have for the fans around the world?
For as far as starting eggs on everything, I mean, I think the most important thing I can tell people is first, like thank you for being so patient with us because I know sometime over the last couple years, up until recently, like in between Safe Inside and Illusion of Control, it did take a long time to get stuff out and released. So I do appreciate the fact that people are still here with us supporting the band. So I think that's the most thing is more like just being grateful for that because there's a lot of fucking bands anyone can listen to, and the fact that people are giving us the time of day instead, when they can listen to other cooler stuff, it means a lot.
Awesome, awesome. And Mario, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on this interview. And thanks to you and the entire band for putting up an amazing EP, Passageway, this Friday. Great album, like you said earlier. And thanks for all the awesomeness and for giving the awesome music to the metal fraternity around the world. So thanks for everything. And I wish you all the best and hope to see you guys on the road.
And thank you for giving me your time as well. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. Mario, take care and have a good day. Bye
You
bye.
too. Take care. Bye-bye.